My name is Crush, also known as Crush Your Poet. I am a nationally ranked spoken word artist, host of Fluid Fridays Queer Open Mic, pretty much an advocate for awareness and acceptance, self-love, basically a creator of safe spaces with the intention behind realizing internal power and manifesting your desired realities. My name is actually an acronym. Crush is creating realities using spiritual hands.
How could I deny her fly face? Don't need no luck from Clover. She gon' eat me up like live bait.
If I'm trying to write a poem for, say, a competition, slam, it's usually begins from a seed, but there's a lot of research involved. So I'll think about what topic I want to cover. And once I get that in my head, I start trying to think of metaphors that I can link together. Because when I'm telling my stories, I'm usually attempting to tell it in a way that's wrapped in a metaphor and not really plain language. Because to get the audience's mind entertained but out of the box. And so I start doing that. I start looking up research on whatever I decided to link my message to. And from there, I just start writing. I start going. Whatever nuances I can find that connect the two pieces, I just start layering my poem in that way. I would define my art as creative ways to tell a message, to promote self-awareness and self-love and healing. Primarily is the reason behind my storytelling and sharing these experiences, these shared experiences through community that we've all experienced in different ways. It's kind of where is my sweet spot, telling stories that people can relate to, but that also provide education and make you think and provide some self-awareness also. The impact that I want to have is basically bringing all those awarenesses around to people to make sure that they understand what's happening around us, to understand the things that have happened in the past that are currently still affecting us, and to open our minds and our hearts in a safe space where we can all hear each other, heal each other, love each other. My life motto is do everything with love. And so I lead with that. And that's really the message and the impact that I want to have on everybody. That we can just kind of start tweaking the community or society to start doing things with love first. It bleeds out some of this craziness that we have happening. So. My most known catchphrase or slogan is "Sexuality is fluid, swallow it." That's trademarked. Don't y'all be trying to. It's trademarked. And it's basically a tag for my queer community, the LGBTQ plus community, and saying that sexuality is fluid. We don't all have to fit in a box. Even people that identify as heterosexual may have some type of connection or energy or attraction to same sex in some way. Doesn't always mean that they want to go sleep with somebody, right? It just means that there's an energy connection, and that's fluid. You know, some people want to have a relationship with a certain sex or gender. Some people are fluid in that area, don't care, they connect based on energy and intellect. And the point in saying sexuality is fluid is to take the judgment out of it. Because even inside of the queer community, there's judgment around maybe bisexuals or transgender or something that doesn't fit the heterosexual norm of society that we're used to. And so I use that tagline, sexuality is fluid, swallow it, because obviously it's catchy, right? Makes sense. But it's a play on words, but it's just a point to try and take the judgment out of people exploring or connecting to people in a way that is not in a box. So that's it. I'm currently kind of trying to figure the best way to continue to grow in my arena, because I started in slam poetry. That was the only world that I knew. And now I'm kind of delving into creating art as a whole and being able to merge with different types of art and different talents to be able to create not only art, but like merge communities in a way. You know what I mean? Because for instance, like music is one of the biggest influences worldwide. Doesn't matter, right? If I can connect with that crowd and that community, but wrap my message into it, now we've crossed over, you know? So I'm really trying to just delve into how to elevate the art that I'm creating, as opposed to just thinking about it as a straightforward, I write a poem and perform it. So that's kind of where I'm at. When did I start loving myself is a super revolving question. It's not a pinpoint answer. It is very much so evolving over time. So I can say at 22, I found a piece of myself that I really started to love. And I loved that piece of me, and I was living my life. And then life happened and it drugged me down. And I'm in the dark and in the hole again. And I had to start going through a healing process. I didn't like or love myself at that point. So now I'm healing again. Maybe let's say 25, I start to love myself again, right? And I'm living life, and it happens again. Something happens, life. So I'm at a point where I'm like, dang, this is not it. I'm not really loving, I'm not feeling myself right now. Definitely at 30, most definitely. Best self, like just super loving myself, super confident, just going after everything, eating healthy. I love myself at 30. And then life happens and you start, but when you get to a certain part of healing in 30s for sure, I started to learn things about myself that I hadn't touched before. So then it's like, oh, I love myself, but I'm finding some pieces of myself that I didn't know. I don't really like this. I don't like this. So honestly, right now at 36, I'm in a whole nother level of beginning to love who I am again. And so that's why I love that question so much, because it's like, it's ever evolving. Like, self-love is an everyday practice. I don't feel like, let me speak for myself. I never got to a point where I loved myself and it was just peachy keen for the rest of my life. And I just love myself every day like that. It's an everyday practice. And I look forward to it, man, because I don't know. I just feel like we always looked up like, oh man, 30, 40, so old. But when you get here, it's like, man, this is life. You know what I mean? You really start to like, learn, and love yourself.
It starts